What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Oh man, what is going on? What is happening? So much in the markets right now. It's going to get interesting. It will get interesting. But we did attempt to go bullish in the futures last night. We absolutely gave all of that back. And we're sitting a little bit to the negative side on the day. I believe we also have Joe Biden probably coming out, the Prez coming out right now-ish. Typically he's late, so I don't know if he's talking live yet, but he's supposed to be coming out to, I guess, give his condolences to the market. I'm not sure exactly, but it's going to be wild. But the one thing I do know is all my peeps are in the house today. We got them ready. We know why we're here. We got the reason to be here. Good morning. We got Chuck in the house. We got Al in the house. Albert, Bill, Brian, Chris, Christina, Greg, Jay, Jeremy's in the house. Jose, Kevin. Good morning to Kyle, Michael, Natalie, Rick. We got Rock. I don't know who this person is. I've never seen this name, but it's like S hashtag RY3 ES8. I mean, that's birth certificate name. I don't know what that is, but that sounds like a birth certificate name. Good morning. We got Scott in the house. Shane, Tanya. We got, I believe that's Brian. Tony, good morning. Yovaris, all my peeps in YouTube. We got Sean. Sean says, morning. Oh, going to stay green, or is it going to be a red day for Bitcoin? We got Sean wants to know about the Bitcoin. You know what? I haven't even looked at Bitcoin in a minute. What I would say, though, for the overall market, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's actually positive. All of the people that told me that that Bitcoin, that's where you put that's how you protect yourself from all the government nonsense. It's coming true. Yeah, we got Bitcoin a little bit positive. I would be careful on Bitcoin. So we do have, number one, I would always be careful on Bitcoin. But you do have a big move into a little bit of resistance. So somewhere right around here, I think, is where we get that resistance to maybe hold. We pull back, look for a double bottom, something like that. But yeah, somewhere around 2240, 22.42292 is interesting. If that does break, you're looking, and this is, I think, where that first little attempt alluded to, the 23.023, and then the one after that would be 23.729. But Bitcoin, yeah, Bitcoin up today. I think it is that key resistance. And let's go into the SPY just to see in comparison what happened. What happened with the SPY pre-market? All right, yeah, I would say futures last night was extremely positive. I think when I checked it was like 1.66% to the positive side. I was like, wow, going to be a massive trap. We've given all of that back so far, and we're just leaking lower. The only benefit, I think, to the bull side. Chuck says president is speaking live right now. He's remarking on the banking system. Back in my day, you used to open a checking account and get a free TV. Free TV for everyone. And then I get the lollipops. I love my pops. It's not even a hyperbole. We got SPY is so here's my hope for the bulls. This is what the bulls got to hang into. We got a little bit of support somewhere. So I'm just gonna end that sentence, just somewhere. We got support somewhere. 382.09 is a zone, and then we got another one somewhere at 381, 380. So we're hitting it. We are gapping into a heavy resistance. I mean support. Sorry. This is also a retest gap. You would think lots of people are shorting. People are going to be profitable at open. I think this is a gap we could probably actually try to fade, believe it or not. Even though I know we got Armageddon in the banking system. Dodd-Frank did nothing. I get it. But yeah, I think we could probably move a little bit higher on this gap, at least back into the 385. I mean, again, this is I will say though, that was a 1.6 into a negative open. Is you don't see that you don't see that too much. Maloney says, can we close the markets already? We're just getting going, Maloney. We're just getting going. I don't know. Let's take a look real quick at the Qs and then any other tickers that you guys want, by all means, throw into the chat. We will look at Tesla. We got Kevin in YouTube land. We got Kelly. Good morning, Kelly in YouTube land. We got the Qs. Back in Monday. The Qs, same thing. I mean, the Qs have been stronger for longer, but that's a nasty gap down today, to be honest. This is a very, very tough gap. Very, very tough gap. I mean, it is a retest gap. I do expect maybe right where we're at to hold 286.95. But we're breaking down some relatively key levels. So what I'm looking for is probably a quick bounce in the morning. And then I think we probably roll over and the Qs are in danger. There's nothing in the, if this level breaks on the Qs, I'll go a little lower for security purpose, but 287.02, there's nothing in the way until 279. I would assume any bounce by some puts. That is cray. Jenny says, good morning, all. Jenny from Australia. Good. Not morning for you. Good afternoon, night, evening, something like that. Yeah, just say you think I'm kidding. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. All right. Mr. President, nobody was laughing. Nobody thought that was a joke. It's hyperbole. Jay, with the bond shares in failed banks, getting nothing. If I owned a bank stock, I would sell now. Jay is just bailing. Jay is pretty much causing the bank runs. That's what's happening. Jenny says technically it's 1208. Chuck says banking systems are safe. Deposits will be there when needed. Yes, 250,000 of it. Everything else. The funny thing is on this whole banking situation, I think it was, I don't forget if it was the morning room or the afternoon room. I'm trying to remember, but we talked about the bail-ins. Like, I think it was either early last week or like the end of the week before that. We were early. We were just randomly having like conversations, and we were talking about like the bail-ins, and all of a sudden, like 2 or 3 days later, like, and I was like, this never happened in the history of United States. But yeah, bail-ins are like, they don't want to do bailouts. They can't really do bailouts, but they could do bail-ins. They could take any of the money in the banks over 250,000. And we'll do a whole session on this thing later today. I'm back on the mic 3:30 to 5. Let's go. Yeah, we're gonna do the whole thing on the banking. I'm too pumped, too amped. All money will be returned to depositors if yeah, the 250. And if he's somehow returning some other money besides that 250, we have a lot. We got a lot more issues. This is terrifying, actually. All right, let's take a look at Tesla. To some extent, they have to. You can't save every business that fails, and later we'll get into why it's failing, all that stuff. But this is not I need to save everything. Sometimes it's better to let the weaker fail. In reality, Tesla breaking some key levels. Again, this is technically the retest gap. I would look for, you're about 50-50. I'm not going to touch this one at open. But 172 is probably well, I would say we have to see what happens around 170.84. The better spot would be somewhere around 171.92 95. That would be a spot to continue to look short. We've had this little target on my screen for a while, 163.34. I'm gonna be eventually buying some puts, but I mean selling some puts. I have not done it yet, but we're starting to get closer to lower levels. So it's on the agenda. It is something I'm considering. Can we look at PACW for sure? Nvidia looks like we got broken chart. Again, this is still technically a retest gap. I don't think this one retests as much, so I don't think we get all the way back up to 230.02. The close below 230 on Friday. That said all it has to say. And I think Nvidia is starting to become the broken chart that Tesla. We're not quite there yet for that dramatic move, but we're getting close. We're in the zone. Be very, very careful if you're in long on Nvidia for anything. If you're looking to hold shares to pay for your college kids, your kids' college fund, maybe look to sell a couple shares, buy a couple puts. I do have some puts on the table, but we are starting to crack a little bit for Nvidia. We'll get down for my target is about 210 on Nvidia, so 210 is my next target. Nvidia puts will pay for the college plan. It's either that or homeschooling. So, I mean, there's options. We got PACW. Yikes. There was another bank that went on there. I don't know the name. It's not this one though. But yeah, any local regionalized bank right now, nobody's gonna want to touch it along the road. This is, I mean, you asked for me to look at. I don't know what I'm looking at. What do you do with this one? So in a normal situation, normal market, everything. I mean, even a normal market could be chaotic at points, but this would be a retest gap, and this is not a. You're not trading this off technicals. This is in the news. We're gonna hear this thing nonstop on CNBC. You have all the rest of the mainstream media picking up news on everything regional bank, how we're having wrong. You literally have the president right now on TV talking about he will personally give you some of the CCP money if your deposit is not. I don't know what he's talking about, but this is not anything bank wise. Is not technical right now, so just be very, very careful. As much as it seems like okay, great gap, and I mean maybe intraday when this thing's open, there might be some chart, but none of these things are trading technicals. So just be very, very careful. Yeah, Signature Bank is the other one. Yep, Signature Bank is na. Hey. You lost your money. All right, let's take a look at AAPL. Why would anybody over 250K in SVP? About 97% of the money in Silicon Valley Bank was past the 250 limits. Think about this for a second though, Chuck, and think about I hate to use the word trickle down effect because it's stupid, but I'm gonna do it. 97% of the money in the bank, the customers of SVB, they funded a lot of the tech companies, they gave a lot of money to the startups, to all that. I have a whole list of stocks, Roku being one of them. Roku had a lot of money tied up. These are companies. These are bigger companies. It's not individual people. A lot of these companies had massive amounts of money, obviously just being big companies, and they're throwing their money into the bank. So most of them, 97% of the money in the bank is past that 250 limit. And also think about this, for companies that even moved money out prior, even if you have just a 250 or you're just waiting on the 250, you still have to deal with the FDIC. Think about how that could affect a business, even in the short term. Like, you need that money for payroll. It takes a while. Like, just because it's insured doesn't mean it happens right away, where your money comes back right away. There's a process in place. There's paperwork. Like, there's a lot that goes into it, and it could be a delay. It could be some time until that first initial 250 gets paid back. So if you have to meet payroll as a company and that money's not there for you, you gotta have some angry employees. I'm sure there's employees. We've been talking about how the credit card debt has been going up for most people. Right, we're at new levels of high credit card debt. Savings accounts are at realistically all-time lows. So you're telling me that there's people at companies that don't live paycheck to paycheck, and if one of those companies is now banking with SVB or a Signature or any of these other regionalized banks, even if you just had that 250 in there, it doesn't mean you could take it out today. Right? There's a process that goes into it, and maybe they'll try to escalate things and try to advance it as much as possible. But there's a lot of things that could happen from this point. Just from like the butterfly effect. All right, we got Apple. This one doesn't look great at all, to be honest. I mean, it's not a gap down. I mean, it's a gap down, but just inside candle. Still had a little bit of support where we were about 2 seconds ago. Looked a little bit worse, but yeah, we are at support for Apple right now. Well, at this point, now that they have removed the 250K rule, all banks are now going to be uninvestable. What holds the board accountable? Oh, they still have the 250. The 250 rule hasn't been removed. It's just that's what's covered by the FDIC. To my knowledge, they didn't reverse that. No, I don't think they're about to. Shane says Amazon. And even if you're at, when was the last time anybody's been held accountable for anything? You do realize where you live in what time frame. You have you tuned into any politics ever? No, none of them. Nobody's accountable for anything, and it's always the other person that's fault. That's crazy. All right, we got Amazon down to 89.53, a little bit of level of support, but yeah, we have this one over here as well. So again, retest gap. I'm gonna be patient and open here. I think we do get this bounce. If I don't know if I want to play a fade, to be honest, but I think a fade happens, right? So just because I don't think we go short at open. But I'm also not surprised in this environment. This is, I mean, think about this. We are creating history as we move this year. Like, this is gonna be like historic moments. How did it happen? Why did it happen? What happened? We're gonna be starting to live in a time. I mean, SVB was the second largest bank failure ever. Like, okay. I think they were the I don't know. Well, at this point, now they have the removed. Puts it like warm blankets on cold mornings. Just like to cozy up next to a nice little put. I'd like to get my book on Jerome Powell, his biography, just cuddle up next to my puts and just read his life story. As of last night, it was removed, really. If they removed it, I got to look into that. I don't know the details on that at all. One of that calls a huge bank run today. Yeah. RIP signature, I guess. It's all transitory, Cindy says. I like a good throwback. That's a good throwback right there. Chuck says it's Trump's fault. It's all that Trump guy. Agent Orange. Rock says, I've never seen moves like this ever in my brief trading career. Nah, yeah, but you started a wild time too. So is anyone surprised anymore? That's the real question. I mean, we just lived through an entire world being shut down, and now everyone's getting excited about bank closures. The banks are closed. Just pretend you're in 2020. You're good. Lucia says, so if FDIC raises the insurance limits to infinite, I wonder how much that premium is going to be for. Yeah. Go long all insurance companies, I guess. They're just after Silicon Valley bank shutdowns, uninsured depositors. Markets after Silicon Valley 3 days ago. We must make sure all deposits exceeding FDIC 250 limit is honored. Wow. I haven't seen that, but that is an interesting dynamic. Just posted an article in Slack. When is the emergency meeting today? Every meeting's an emergency meeting. Hector says facts. 11:30 Eastern. So just today's gonna be filled with news. I mean, there's gonna be meetings. There's gonna be everyone's going nuts. Is it just me? I can't wait to tell you about my weekend. After the bell, we'll get it. After the market's open. If it slows down, talk about nuts. Wild weekend. Cindy says not covering investor, but covering depositors. Okay. Nope, nothing surprises you. Nothing. The Big Short movie again. Yeah. Tune in 8 p.m. Yeah, I think actually the Big Short is probably more appropriate now than ever. I mean, it's the same thing. Different terms, different words. I expect a big sell-off, then a bounce, hopefully. I don't know. I think, honestly, I think we go the other direction because there is people shorting into this. People, I mean, again, this is not a surprise to a lot of people. It's not a, like we've dealt with this data already since Thursday. So fear started to come in end of last week. And we did try to attempt to make some kind of a bounce. Meta looks like a bearish gap and go. Still kind of hanging out in the range though. I mean, this is JP Morgan. We got JP Morgan down a little bit. Bank of America looks a lot worse. So if you're gonna go short banks, keep in mind too, short term, long term, there'll be spots to pick up some of these names. I am actually interested in probably putting some Bank of America into the long term. But this is a gross looking gap. Again, I don't see anything on this one. There's nothing on Bank of America that says we're at any type of support. What, Jim Cramer just go long on this or something? This looks we're into a little bit of support. Maybe that holds, but there's not a lot. I mean, this takes us back to levels of 2020. December 2020, maybe a little bit of support from back here. Otherwise, I mean, there's no volume, no liquidity, no nothing. Yikes. Agnes says, any of you planning to pick up something for the long term? If it dips even more? Yes. I do still think, and I've been saying this for a while, the market is not cheap yet. I think things need to fall a lot more. I think things are still very, very overly priced in the market. But does that mean not to buy for the long term. No. Right. These are when everybody's fearful, that's when you look to buy. But the valuations for me for a lot of things are still extremely high in this market. Even though we've come down 25% in the market, 22% in the market, I think we still have about 20% to go, 30% to go down in the markets. I think some individual names. I think we need some more people to get wiped out. I think we get some more banks going under. I think there's another hidden gem out there potentially, but that's my tinfoil hat theory. I think everything is still overpriced in the market. So just buy on a schedule, buy on a budget. There's no need to go all in on things. There's plenty of time for these things to kind of develop, pan out, but we'll see. JP Morgan will go out before JP Morgan will go out before Bank of America. JP Morgan is massive. If JP Morgan goes out, there's going to be and again, I mean, you can say the same thing about Bear Stearns. You can like, yeah, it could happen. But that would be a massive one. I don't know. Juan says, hey Dan, how do you feel about Schwab? Not sure if you looked at it already. Yeah, what's the ticker? SCHW, I think. These guys have been getting extra beat up as well from this whole thing. I didn't see them on the list of companies with the same exposure as some of the localized guys, but these guys have been just absolutely taking it on the chin. There's no, again, I mean, this is a technical retest gap. I don't know if technical applies. That's the issue I have. This is a retest gap. There's so much news right now. Maybe we come down a little bit lower into the $47 field. This is a retest, so I'm gonna, if I had to flip a coin, I'm gonna say it goes bullish at open, but I'm not that confident on this one. I just don't know, because it is very, very overextended to the sell side. There's a lot of people in this thing short. But when the president is actively talking about how he's going to save all of the problems in the current business, that's I don't know. It's not technical anymore. But this is after acquiring TD. Yeah. They haven't flipped over yet, but I think they had plans for it. We got it 1 minute left. Schwab actually got an upgrade today. I wonder how much that cost Schwab. Just for that, I'm going to short Schwab. They had to spend some money on that upgrade, but they don't have America in their name. Neither did Silicon Valley. People don't like silicone no more. Are we in a recession right now? I think personally we've been in a recession for a while. We did a session on it, but look up the Warren Buffett indicator that says we're over. That has been predicting a, I guess, recession / depression for a little bit longer. We've also had, I mean, you look at the inverted yield curve, that's been predicting some kind of recession, and just nobody's been talking about it on TV. So I don't know if right now they want to just change the vocabulary a little bit, but we'll see. I do know, unfortunately, the bell's about to ring. There it is. Everybody in YouTube land, I do appreciate you joining us each and every day in the morning. You are more than welcome to hang out with us every single day for the full day. Just go to reallifetrading.com. We have all access pass. You guys, we do this like 9 a.m. Eastern, even with daylight savings. I mean, we don't care. And we go right till 6 p.m. at night. So you guys are more than welcome to hang out, trade with us, have all the different classes, sessions, everything that we do. But on the way out, YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, like, and subscribe buttons. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.